Today, in the topic of jurisprudence and legal theory, we have taken the topic to be discussed today is ownership. Whenever we say ownership, the deed, the person who possesses the property, irrespective of movable or non-movable, might have had the title deed. So title deed is very, very important. So, and at the same time he is also possessing the property. Then he is told as absolute owner of the property. So general idea is the according to Salman, ownership has the better a person and an object. So it is the relationship between a object and the person which form the subject matter. So the subject matter is the property. And Austin, according to Austin, no restriction over the manner of disposing of property. The owner can sell it or gift it or exchange it. Whenever a person is said to be the owner, he can exchange his property, or he can transfer the property, or gift the property. Then we will see the ownership என்பது ஒருவர் அதற்கான டைட்டில் டீட், அதற்கான பத்திர பதிவு வைத்திருக்க வேண்டும். அதோடு அல்லாமல் அவர் அதனை தன் கைவசம் வைத்திருந்தால் மிக பொருத்தமான ஒரு ஓனர்ஷிப்பாக கருதப்படுகிறது. இந்த ஓனர் என்பவர் அதனை இன்னொருவருக்கு விற்கலாம், தானமாக தரலாம் அல்லது மாற்றிக்கொள்ளலாம். Now we will see the 5 characteristic feature of property, that is ownership. Right of possession. First one is called right of possession. That is, whenever a person is said to be the owner, he has the right of possession. He is also enjoying the property. That is called possession. So, a watch is stolen from A by B. So now, though the owner is A, he is not having the watch in his possession because it is stolen by B. So B is, though watch is not with A, B is not the owner. Hence, A is said to be the absolute owner. Then, or the right owner. Then next example is A gives his car to C on hire for a period of time on writing. So though A is the owner of the car, he is not possessing the car. He has given it to C for a period of time. Even though it is not in his possession, he is the owner. A is the owner. And on the completion of the hire period, the C has to return the property to the original owner. So this is called reversionary right. And the next one is right to use and enjoyment. The owner of the property has absolute power to use it and enjoy it. Then third one is right of consumption, alienation and destruction. Owner can consume it, or he can sell it, or he can transfer it. A non-owner cannot transfer a property. This is based on the maxim nemo that cured non-habet. That means the person who owns the property is the absolute owner. Then, but in contrast, in some of the places, in sale, for say example, sale of goods, a non-owner can transfer the property. Say example, a pledgee can sell the goods under certain circumstances. A person is pledging his jewel he is called pledger, and the person who receives is called pledgee. So pledgee gives loan to A on the security of the jewel. So, but the pledger has not at all given the interest or not taken any action over redeeming of property. Then the condition states that if the amount exceeds, that is the loan amount plus interest exceeds the property value, then he can sell it, or on completion of the term he can possess the pledge property, and he can sell it, that is, or to compensate the loan amount. That is, in contracts, a non-owner can also transfer the property. Like that, a carrier of goods on his possession, when the goods are stopped in transit. For example, the goods may contain some perishable goods. So the carrier may have to do some immediate action. So he can sell the goods. That is, a carrier of goods on his possession, when the goods are stopped in transit. Suppose in transit, if it is stopped due to natural calamity or something like that, then he can sell the property. Then intermediate duration, non-owner entitled to use the specific time, and whereas owner interest is perpetual. A non-owner can use the property for specific period, but the owner can use it. The owner's interest is perpetual. Suppose we are giving for rent, then he is the non-owner, but he can use it. It is not perpetual owner, but the person who who is living on rent, is the person who can reside in the place for specific time. That is, the non-owner entitled to use for specific time, but owner interest is perpetual. Then residuary character. Owner leased his land to A, but he is giving easement right to B. Here, for example, A finds a golden ring and B disposes it from him. So by force or something from A, B has dispossessed the ring. That means the possession taken by B. A has to prove that he has better title than B. So in this condition, the A has to prove that he has better title than B. That is called residuary character. His ownership is against the whole world. That is rem. It is always called rem. The whole world except true owner. So his ownership is against the whole world except true owners. True owner only is the whole right to possess it. Then the subject matter of ownership. One cannot sell or lease his right to reputation. Reputation cannot be leased, because it is the person only who owns the reputation, he only have the ownership. Then sole, what is the sole ownership and co-ownership? Sole ownership means only a person has absolute ownership, then he is sole ownership. And co-ownership means when two persons or more persons own a property, then it is called co-ownership. The co-owners, when the property is with co-owners, then each partner is entitled to hold debt. Suppose if debt is on that property, then each partner is entitled to the whole debt. Then what is the co-ownership in common and joint ownership? Co-ownership in common and joint ownership. A and B are co-owners. In this, on A's death, his right devolve upon the surviving co-owners. So when co-owners are there, when one person dies, the ownership devolve on other person, that is B. In case of joint ownership, it devolves upon the surviving co-owner B. So in case of joint ownership, it devolves upon the surviving co-owner of B. Then fragmentation of ownership in time, that is in A has a land, he can give the property to his sons A and B on his on his lifetime, or on after death. He can under writing he can say that after my death my property may go to A and B, like that. It may be on writing. That is then that is called fragmentation of property. That is fragmentation of ownership. Trust and beneficial ownership. So whenever a trust is given, means when the property lies with a very big property lies, and the owner can be a lunatic, or he can be a child, a minor, then a trust is formed to look after the property of the child or minor. Then a trust is formed. A trust for the and beneficial ownership. A gives property to B. The A is called the trustor and B is called the trustee for the benefit of C. So here the trustee becomes the owner and C gets the benefit. So like that, trust and the beneficial ownership, here the beneficial ownership is something different and the trustee is something different. Trustor, trustee and beneficiary. So trustee becomes the owner and C becomes the beneficiary. And legal and equitable ownership. Legal ownership means according to the rule of common law, a person becomes the legal ownership. Equitable ownership means the according to equity, the equitable ownership lies. That is called equitable ownership, rule of equity. By usage or by common pathway may be given, that is equitable ownership. Vested and contingent interest, contingent ownership. Vested when the title deed is with the owner, then it is called vested ownership. Contingent ownership means on a condition the ownership may be transferred. For example, A possesses a car and he tells to his daughter B, say B, if you pass degree, then the car will be given to you. So A is the vested owner, and on passing of the degree, the ownership transferred to the B, the daughter of A, on completion of her degree. That is the contingent ownership. On some happenings, the ownership is changed. That is called contingent ownership. This is with regard to the vested and contingent ownership. So we have seen what is ownership. Ownership means whenever a person holds the title deed as well as possession, is the absolute ownership. So with this we conclude this video.